Hello, folks, and welcome to the Atomic Salt Live Show. This is the weekly discussion show. We're going to talk about everything in the tabletop hobby world. I am Wild Chevy, and as always, I'm joined by Casey. Casey, how are you this week?
Oh man, any better? I have to be twins.
Nice. Must be a good week for you then.
It was a good week. I didn't get much done hobby wise, but it's okay.
Yeah, sometimes we need a little time off on the hobby.
Yeah. So I wasn't totally like hobby abstinent, I guess I'll say. I got to play a little Pandemic with my wife. It was a Pandemic Legacy. So that was good. It was another win for the good guys. Me and her are just kind of awesome like that.
Nice. I mean, for a game that tries to kill you constantly.
It's a really tough game, but they're starting to give us some cool abilities in the legacy, and so we're kind of starting to yeah, they're making it a lot harder, but we've been picking our abilities fairly well up until this point. And so yeah, it was good. It's very, very complicated, like to keep track of everything. So we used to play it online with my brother and his wife. It's trying to track all of that stuff online is nearly impossible at this point.
That, I've got a few board games that are campaign based, and it seems daunting just to I mean, one offs, great, but to do a whole campaign, that requires commitment.
Yeah, yeah, no lies. Um, I think at the shortest, it's supposed to last about 12 games. At the longest, it goes 24 because you get like two chances at every round of the game. But it's been kind of fun between me and her. We named the characters and the characters change and evolve a little bit.
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew.
Yeah, we give them all funny names. There's Dr. Zoidberger, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew,
Murray Curry.
Murray Curry, Amanda Panda, and Sasha Pasha. So, yeah. Okay. She says the next one is going to be Dr. Bossy McScoopers or McScooper Pants or something like that. So, but yeah, we did that. I finally picked out for the second quarter Maya Cast Masterclass painting tournament. I think I'm going to do my other Achilles model.
Now, what is that exactly?
What is what? Where
What
do you
is
want me
a
to back?
what is a MyCast master glass? Or
Yeah, so every quarter the podcast MayaCast does a miniature painting competition. This quarter, it's going to be something from the new Human Sphere N3 program or N3 book. So I'll be doing basically a profile that's in the Human Sphere book. And so if you're wondering what that is, it's anything that's not in the core rule book, and we have rules for. And that's it. And I've got the special edition Achilles model, and so I'm gonna use that because I painted that other one up, and it turned out pretty well.
oh yeah, you know how to paint one up now. So
Yeah, I know all the places where I missed mold lines and stuff, and how to improve upon it. So I think I'll get that. And you have a whole quarter, and they just started it, so I've got 3 months to work on him.
well, I mean,
So
it's time. Or I mean, if the book comes out, you can paint up something else too.
yeah, so I'll put that on, and then I got to start working on my my gladiator games competition because I assume they'll have the salty dwarf.
Yes, we will have another painting competition this year.
Because the last couple of years I just felt like look at the painting, I'm like, I suppose I could put something in, but I didn't really feel like I was up to snuff quality wise because we have some amazing painters who put in for that. You don't just get to throw in like one of your tabletop models and hope they do well. So, but I'm starting to feel like my painting's getting good enough where I can actually make an honest attempt at it. So
I mean, yeah, you did really well in that last painting competition.
yeah, so but what about you? What? Oh, and then I've been reading the Infinity RPG sections as they've been coming out. So
Have you? Well, before we get on off other topics, have you tried their online creator yet?
I did. So
Have you
the
been
first
able to? Have you been able to make anything?
the first revision was pretty rough, and to be fair, I was using my phone. So they've since updated it once, and they've fixed a lot of the bugs in it. So I've been able to make one. It was kind of interesting. Like it's. I feel like it's almost cheating behind the scenes, like where I'm like, that's too random. Things are working out too perfectly for that, but evidently it's not. So
Yeah,
I,
it's an interesting program, and yeah, when I first tried it, it just gave me the diamond loading screen forever. I'm like, oh, this sucks. Definitely you do not want to go back. It will not let you go reverse on anything. It's,
no, yeah, never ever do that.
yeah, just stream forward and push on through. But
So okay, so what have you been up to?
um, painting wise, you remember this one from last week? It's getting closer
Yes,
to finish.
the Better Off Dead for Your Iron Painter.
Yeah. So here's the Watcher. It's getting closer to completion. I'm working on the base right now. It's due tomorrow, so nothing like deadlines.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
pressure.
Well, yeah, I mean, earlier this week I had some interviews and whatnot. So like, just talking to other people takes a lot of energy out of you. And then now I'm like, all right, we got a deadline. Let's kick that uh, creative processing gear. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, painting wise. Gaming wise, I did get a Infinity game in, and I did actually take a photo.
Hey, let's see.
Now I'm going to get to the photo. And boom. All right, here we go. This was week 3 for our Infinity League. The mission was decapitation.
So how did you like Decapitation?
You know what? From looking at the other, uh, not battle reports, but how everybody when they submit, it's a low VP game at the end. It is brutal.
Yeah, I think when it first came out, everybody thought that everybody was going to be killing lieutenants left and right, but it turns out if you really want to hide a model and make it difficult to get to, you really can do that.
Yeah, it's rough. I so on the bottom left hand side of the screen there, I next to the barrels, you can see my lieutenant there. He's he's my two-win lieutenant hanging out with a TO camo hacker and a sec bomb with a 360 visor and a morning shotgun. So he was set up to do well.
That will definitely protect him.
Yep. But you know what? This is Infinity. It is a dice game, and shit will go wrong for you. uh, so I think this is taking about second turn. Third turn, uh, it was brutal because like uh, before the game, because I was playing my Hakazam, My buddy was playing Ariadna, and we were talking about the info card or the mission cards. And he's like, well, those always screw over Ariadna. Like, well, there's also the capture HVT option. And so once he knew that was a thing, it was let's not try to kill each other's lieutenants. Let's try and capture the HVT. So that was my pretty much my round, just to avoid him doing that. But he got second. I went first, so his third, bottom of third, he had a hacker up in the middle left of the screen there in camouflage, and not a hacker, just a trooper in camo. Ended up running him around the corner. He had a little light flamethrower. He got killed along the way,
Yeah.
but the sec bond, since he had 360 visor and was not in the flame area, was able to kill the guy. The TO trooper was able to successfully shoot an armor save. My 2 wound, super awesome Yanasari LT rolled consecutive 4s and died horribly.
I'm sorry. Because that Yanasari is a really good model when they're making their saves.
So it was pretty brutal this week. I lost, I think, 10-4. Yeah.
Ouch.
So, yeah, that's my life in Infinity currently.
The dice can be fickle.
Yes.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. So, like, I always jokingly curse at my buddy because, like I say, he curses my dice and blesses his. First roll of the game, he had an antipode pack, and 2 of them because I went gunning for his LT and had a nice boarding shotgun, and I was able to eclipse a couple of his guys. They both rolled 19 and 20 on their armor save.
Gosh, isn't that frustrating?
Yes. It's like you could tell the way a game's gonna go by the first roll.
This is true.
It happened to me at LDL.
This
It's happened to me here. And it's funny. It's funny how these games can make you frustrated just by the randomness of a dice throw.
It's tough. I mean, you can always try and mitigate things, but man, if somebody's rolling well, you just can't stop that. So, got any more games planned?
Yeah, this week we are going to play a supply. Area, the control area. The one that you wrote an article for not too long ago. That's this week's mission. But then we also have a tournament coming up.
So tell me about this tournament.
It's Infinity, 300 points. I think you said you're not going to go because like some child in your family is having a birthday party.
Yeah, the tournament is this coming Saturday, the 23rd, and that's just not going to work for me.
It's his birthday.
Well, you're gonna miss it, but the missions you're gonna miss out on are gonna be Nimbus Zone, highly classified, and supplies.
Oh, that's a fun lineup of missions.
Minnesota, yeah, that's one we talked about last week. That one's pretty interesting. It'll be real interesting in a tournament setting because it slows down your actual gameplay a lot
Mm-hmm.
because you have to remember that shooting through the zone you have a -3 to your ballistic skill and then a -1 to your burst, and so it's a lot of modifiers like crazy.
Yeah. So, how about we talk about the missions just a little bit?
Sure.
You want to step through them?
Sure. Nimbus Zone is the first one. Is what are the new wording called for that? So Nimbus Zone. So main objectives are to download data packs from the consoles. There are 3 consoles on the board in the center. You get 1 objective point for each data pack downloaded. You have to disconnect more antennas than your adversaries. There are 4 Nimbus antennas on the board. And then control. You have to control more consoles at the end of the game.
Do you get a classified?
Yes, just 1 classified card.
Okay. Is there an Intelcom card available?
Yes, this is the really weird Intelcom one. This, if you use your Intelcom, it's interference. So you could at the end of the game negate somebody's specialist having a specialist ability. So, but if somebody's on the console, so you have to be basing a console in order to have it controlled. You can negate that for somebody's specialist.
Yeah, this is such a weird one. So, but the nice thing is you do have a lot of different things that you're. This is one of the more complicated missions.
Yes, it's just because there's even an exclusion zone. The Nimbus zone itself, it's 8 inches from the center of the board on each side. You cannot deploy in that zone. So that just gives you a strip, a 4-inch strip on each side of the deployment zone, or outside your deployment zone for your infiltrators, drop troops.
Yeah, it's tough. Now you can disable this if that's what you're going for.
Yeah. The Nimbus antennas, you can destroy them. They have structure, and or you go up there and have your specialist take them out. Once all 4 are taken out, the zone goes away.
Right. Yeah. See, this is a tough one because so once you download the data pack, I don't believe the other person can get that. Correct?
I'm not sure. It's one of those. It's really each player can only you can only download once per. So and you can only that's something interesting. Data packs cannot be downloaded until the second game round.
Mm-hmm.
So first turn grabs are not going to happen.
Yeah, so you really need to ask yourself. This is one of the missions where you need to go on right from the beginning with an idea of what you're going to try and accomplish.
Yeah. Definitely first turn, go for take out the towers. If you had having something that requires anti-material, it's going to be very selective in your army. Engineers get them with D charges. Panzerfaust are nice, but it's also you kind of want to have a remote with bag or something with baggage, so you could reload like a Panzerfaust.
Yeah, now I'm going to say this. You really need to consider whether or not you actually want to take it out. Because if your goal is to be moving along through there and trying to not do shooting, but actually accomplish objectives, then that Nimbus zone will help you.
It will help you, but if your opponent goes for them, because you have to have more to get the point, and it's 3 points for disconnecting more antennas. So it's one of those. If your opponent gets two, you just go for the other two, and just you negate them 3 points.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people immediately go to try and remove those antennas, but I really think that if you try to leave them up and your game plan is around leaving those up, I think you can really mess with your opponent. And let's be honest, who doesn't love doing that?
Yeah, this is definitely a mission that's more mental than actual dice rolling and having units in the right spots.
Mm-hmm. So what's the next mission that you're going to do?
Highly classified.
Oh, highly classified, how I love thee. Do we need to break this down at all?
It's for you. It's pretty much a kill everybody type of mission, but
I disagree. I guess we do have stuff to talk about here.
Yeah.
So why would you say this is a kill them all type mission?
Because specialists are going to have a high value in this one, only because. So for highly classified, you get 4 main classified objectives that are that are open knowledge for everybody, for your opponent, and then you got your secondaries that are not.
Right.
And so you're going to want to take out as many of their yeah.
Okay, so you're saying that you want to try and go on a specialist assassination attempt. And so let me say why I disagree with this. Because you can do that, but the way I see it is that's not scoring you any points. Sure, you're making it more difficult for your opponent to score points, but you're not. But even if you make it very difficult for them and they only score 3 points and you've scored none, well, I guess you wouldn't score 3. I guess you could. But even if they score very poorly, it's still beating you. And so I think that your objective should really be more about trying to accomplish your classifieds and trying to max it out. Now, granted, try to stop them and take AROs and sort of things when it's available to you. But going hunting on this mission just doesn't make sense to me. Because you win Infinity by scoring points, not by killing people.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, in our last tournament, we had this one, and yeah, my first round was try to grab as many of the main objectives as I could.
Excuse me. So, and I think it's important this one that you also, like, your list will either really help you or really hurt you in this one. And so, personally, I find I try to take at least 2 of every type of specialist that you can in this mission, because it's really possible you have enough classified objectives out there that let's say you don't bring any hackers, that it's very easy for you to have several hacking objectives up there. And if you don't have a hacker, or you only have one hacker and they get popped right off the bat, you're out a lot of points and you're fighting from a very weak position. So there should be almost no time when you're not bringing several of each type in classified object or in highly classified.
Yeah, and not this is Spec Ops, and I'm really finding I really love a Spec Op as an engineer.
You know, all the different spec ops work slightly differently, and so I guess if you're playing someone like Hawk Islam, then yeah, you know, you're going to enjoy having an engineer. I personally find that I really like having like a mine layer or a chain of command or or like some type of infiltrating specialist or for deployment. I think that those work really great for me. So, so what's your last mission?
Our last mission is supplies, which is this is one I had not touched before.
Yeah, this is a fun one. Why don't you read through it?
Yeah, because this one it's pretty much the regular setup for the game. You have tech coffins down the center of the board, evenly spaced, and your goal is to open up the tech coffin, grab the stuff on the inside, and make sure you're holding it at the end of the game. So it's a capture flag.
Now, oh, isn't this the one where they scatter?
No, they took out that one, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, this is just a straight up fun one. It's whoever can get there first. And then this is one of those ones. It's so funny in Infinity. Like either there's missions where you always want to go first, and ones where you always want to go second. And this is kind of one of those always want to go first ones. Because if you can get a person in position, throw a few smoke grenades, and you have some fast specialists, and especially if you are running like an order spam list, you can just run away with this mission if you really want to.
Yeah, let's see. You get for each supply box controlled, you get an objective point. So there's only 3 you can get from that. If you controlled more supply boxes at the end of the battles, you get 3 points. And then if your adversary controls no supply boxes, you get 2. And then you get 2 classifieds.
Yeah, this is one of those ones where either you're going to have either you're going to have a massive score or you're going to have nothing because the other person has a massive score.
And
which is kind of fun sometimes if you're on the winning end of it, but otherwise it can feel kind of sucky.
And this one's odd because it doesn't add up to 10.
That's kind of an artifact of the new point system because they don't always have to add up to 10.
Yeah.
So in a way I like it, but in other ways I look at it, I'm like, come on guys, couldn't you have just like tweak the points a little bit?
Yeah. This one's definitely because it's going to take a lot of orders to do stuff because you have to extract the supply box from the tech coffins and then you have to pick them up or as soon as you extract them you have the tech coffin and then you pretty much run away.
Run away.
And I'd say this one's almost like you want where your command tokens come into play and you want a coordinated order. I mean, it would be if you got first turn and you got your people who are infiltrating, you would say, okay, coordinated order, they're all going to move up, but only one of them can pop open a tech coffin. But that's 3 people that are base to base with tech coffins.
Yeah, so I really like having, in my mind, what I really would like to use, and this is Ariadna. You could use US Ariadna might actually be better because what you can do is you can infiltrate up a lot of stuff really easily.
Mhm.
You know, get a lot of infiltrating specialists with camo on them, so they're fairly protected. And then, yeah, first turn, you just use something like a Maverick and just throw smoke over all of those boxes. And then your Foxtrots are able to do what they're going to do in relative safely. And then they just get the heck out of Dodge.
Now that you know what missions are, how would you? Because you could use two lists uh, for the tournament. All three missions are very specialist.
They are all very specialist heavy.
So would you build two lists around that, or one more mobile, one more defensive? What do you think?
So I would do two lists. And the reason why is because in Nimbus Zone you have an exclusion zone, which means that it doesn't make a lot of sense to take things with like infiltration or AD combat jump. And so I would so both lists would look fairly similar. Nimbus Zone would get its own, and then highly classified and supplies would get its other one. And they would look similar. It would be, again, specialist heavy. I would try and take two of every type if I could. Whereas one would be mobility heavy. That would be the highly classified and the supplies. And maybe have a few more tricks like smoke would be emphasized. Versus the other one for Nimbus Zone, I would really be focusing more on just more orders. Because you're going to be walking around a lot more on that one, I think. Yeah, those are just kind of my thoughts. I mean, every army is going to do it a little bit differently. You know, I think I feel like USARF would do really well in this one because they have access to a lot of flamethrowers, and they have a few very nice forward deployment models, and also access to a lot of motorcycles, which is nice. I also kind of like the idea of using steel phalanx for that. Obviously, I'm partial to them, just because they have the ability to throw zero V smoke out of a link team,
Oh, yeah.
which I find when you have a lot of these objectives where you're having to move up and work off of those is extremely useful. So I think that those two armies would do very well. Yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts. What do you think?
Um, I mean, I would love to go QK, and so I could bring Scarface, and because
Yeah.
Scarface Cordelia, very nice tag engineer combo. But then unfortunately, you are very limited on other things you could take. I'd probably go vanilla, and for like Nimbus Zone, I would definitely take a few points and dedicate it to cheerleader killers. So um, my Fide or a Razik, somebody who can drop in in the back lines and start taking out their orders.
Um. Yeah. Yeah, that always works. I guess coordinated orders are always nice until you're trying to use a bunch of them, and then you realize you need those tokens for other things. So I could sure go for it. But it feels like in missions where you have a lot to do. So especially I feel like highly classified, you're always trying to get a lot of different things done. Positioning can be really important in that one. And then also in Nimbus Zone, where you have a lot of things, I just feel. Sorry, I'm having trouble thinking. I just feel like sectorals are really the way to go, where you can get a lot of efficiency out of link teams.
Yeah. So,
So, because after you use 4 coordinated orders, you're done. Whereas link teams, you can move those guys around all day.
yeah, and I have not played assassins, so I mean, I've been toying with those, especially because like the Ghazi Munawiyas, they're 5-point guys with chain rifles, and as soon as they get the update for Human Sphere, they're going to have smoke too. But I mean, that'll be Human Sphere unlocks for us next month for ITS. But I mean, 5-point models, extremely impetuous, so they only go 4 inches, so they don't get into too much danger like a coon biker. But they do have a lot of options for me to.
Yeah, I just worry that with assassins, you're going to be spending a lot of points. Their stuff is, don't get me wrong, like Moyebs are amazing, and they're also linkable. I mean, they are a great toolbox unit.
Yeah.
But they're not cheap. You pay for that amazingness.
Yeah. But here's my list from this last week. Got TO Hacker, Yanasari, Sekbon. So that's pretty much my back corner defensive part. And then I've got a HMG with a MSV2, Hacker, Neptune orders, Hanzakut for getting up into infiltration, another infiltrator. So these are both camouflage infiltrators. My 5-point crazy guy. And then the second group that has the Razik, who drops in, and then the Fide, who. This group here, it's not to be used at the same time. You use the orders for like the Fide 1 round and then the Razik for the next round. So it's interesting. It's a list I've been toying with. But we'll find out come Thursday and Saturday how well my list magic works.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear how you do. So, all right. Well, do you have anything else you want to talk about this evening, sir?
No, I think I'm good. It's Salute was Saturday. We haven't heard anything from that yet. It should trickle out this week.
Yeah, we should be getting more and more news out of there as the week goes on.
So yeah, we should have some great stuff to talk about next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, you have a good night, sir.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Leave us any comments if you're interested in anything we have to say. Like it, like the video, share it, subscribe to see more. We'll be back next week. Anything else, Casey?
Nothing else from me. Just as always, if there's something you'd like us to take a look at or talk about, shoot us an email at theatomicsalt@gmail.com. This is the Atomic Salt, and we've just blown your mind.
Have a good night, folks. See you next week.